Oh, second to last video I'm gonna do before the actual fucking Super Bowl. Man, Super Bowl picks are in by the experts. We're gonna analyze the analysts and see where they're right or where they fucked up. What's up? It's your boy Sid. I'm coming back at you with another news/analysis video, and I kid you not, that's my real name. Title of this article: Super Bowl picks. They're in. Rounding up the experts' predictions for Eagles Chiefs, and it just won't be Eagles homers. There's authors in from other sites, and we'll see what they have to say. So not all Eagles picks here. Let's get into it. All right, so this one coming from our maybe the author of this article. Let's see how Evan Macy analyzes this and why he thinks the Eagles are the better team. The Eagles are the better team. I have spent over a week coming to that concrete conclusion. There are a ton of different ways they can win this game, which I think is honestly true. They can win with their superior defensive line, getting to Mahomes and creating havoc in the backfield, which I think they'll do. I just don't think this line will be denied. Statistically speaking, they're going to get there. They can win with their superior secondary, with Darius Slay and James Bradbury handling the Chiefs' average receiving core. I don't know if I would call them average. I would call them slightly above average, to in between average to above average. But they don't have anybody that scares you out there like that. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, maybe. Tiny bit, but Darius Slay and James Bradbury, Pro Bowler and a All-Pro, both handling business well this offseason. This season. And Bradbury, the offseason addition. They can win by pounding the run game, using the best offensive lineman in football to control the ball and the clock. And that's a recipe for success. Something that they've done in the last two playoff games and a lot of different games this past year. 5 or 6 games we rushed for 200 yards or more, and I think 12 games we rushed for at least around $150. So, winning recipe for success. The Eagles, after Jalen Hurts' injury, have run the ball I think an average of 40 times. So it's been a key to success post shoulder ailment for him and this team. They can win through the air with Jalen Hurts distributing the ball to A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, and Dallas Goedert. Yeah, misspelled there. But, that's a recipe for success as well. Those 3 guys, I just don't think them, they have a equalizer for each of them on that defense there, by the way, the corners or the linebackers with Goddard. I think, the Chiefs struggle with tight ends, allowing 9 red zone receptions for touchdowns. Number 4 in the league, worst for defending tight ends. So, if you run a simulation of this game 10 times, the Eagles could win a ton of different ways and likely would win it more frequently than Kansas City. I think that proves to be valid. Just look at the course of the season, the ways we won. Kansas City maybe 1 or 2. Eagles a myriad, 3 to 4 at least, and a couple more. How can the Chiefs win? Patrick Mahomes has to play out of his fucking gourd, out of his fucking mind, for them to win this one. That's just. They're counting on him to have that kind of game, but he's injured. That's why he likes their odds. The Inquirer. E.J. Smith thinks it's a coin flip, but here's why he thinks the Eagles' talent will win out. This game is a toss-up, and the early lead will be a significant swing as well. The health of both quarterbacks playing. That's true. They're both injured coming into this match. Picking against a quarterback as good as Mahomes is tough to do, but the Eagles' talent advantage is too hard to overlook. Yeah, this is just top down, top to down, top to bottom. This is a better roster overall. QB, you give the Chiefs the edge. Tight end, you give the Chiefs the edge, and maybe D tackle. Their top D tackle versus our top D tackle, you give them the edge. But that's not saying much. Jalen Hurts may be in a different stratosphere, but it's not like a precipitous drop off. Tight end, not a precipitous drop off either, even though Kelce is clearly the better option. Goddard is a very solid option. I would say he's the number 3 tight end in the league. And there's not a big of a chasm between 1 and 3. And who else was it? The D tackle. Would you take one Chris Jones over 4 game records? If you are, stop the cap. Stop it. That's just hard to overlook, like he's saying here. The Eagles win in a shootout with Brown becoming the 3rd receiver in the last 5 years to win Super Bowl MVP. That would be excellent. And I just don't see them stopping him. He's just too aggressive. Too physical. too aggressive on that front, and he's fast. He can burn you as well deep on those go routes and such. But let's see the Athletic here. 6 of their writers went with the Chiefs, and here we just took a case for maybe best 2 with the most balanced opinions, that 1 to win for the Chiefs and 1 to win for the Eagles. Let's look at Sean Reed and what he has to say about the Chiefs and his win projection for them. The Eagles have the best roster in the league, but I'm rolling with the best player, Patrick Mahomes. While Mahomes can't overcome an entire roster by himself, the Chiefs lost to the Bucs in Super Bowl 54, I want to say. Yeah, 55 is a prime example. He's more than capable of being the deciding factor in a matchup between fairly even match teams. I mean, if you're looking at the match, you thought it was evenly matched. They might have been evenly matched, but that matchup was horrible for him. He was running for his freaking life the whole entire game. That is an equal matchup for me. Projection, yes. Actual game, no. Kansas City isn't as complete as Philadelphia. They just aren't. I mean, they're just lacking in some areas, and just don't have the I feel like we have very good quality to star power at a lot of different positions. We're just loaded this year. Still, they have one of the best offensive lines in the league, yes, but I believe that line is going to struggle. A strong collection of offensive weapons built around Travis Kelce. Yeah, they do. They rebuffed it, but it's still Travis Kelce or nothing. You shut him down, and you can hamper the rest of that. That hampers the rest of the offense. And a defense that really came on strong in the playoffs. Yes, they did, but they allowed 6 yards a carry to the Jacksonville Jaguars as well as the Cincinnati Bengals. They only ran 36 times, and maybe between them or like each. But I think between them, it just wasn't enough. They didn't commit to the run. Just silly when you look at the numbers overall. But it is written as of now. Another potential equalizer is the fact that Chiefs have the coaching advantage with Andy Reid facing off against Nick Sirianni. Okay, cool. But Nick Sirianni is converting on a tremendous amount. I don't know if it's 3rd and 4th down combined, but it's 45%, and that's like 4th in the league. So I mean, he takes chances, whereas Andy still gets tight in big games, still clutches his pearls, still plays conservative in big spots. So we'll see if that becomes an issue in this final game, the season finale of the NFL. Mahomes gets healthy during the two-week gap between the conference championship round and the Super Bowl, puts his excellence on display, and when it matters, and leads the Chiefs as they take another step toward building a dynasty. I don't think he's going to be healthy. They're going to test that ankle, and he could re-aggravate. There's a high chance for me, I think, of re-aggravation because the way he's going to have to maneuver and move against that D-line. Unless they're getting him 2.5 seconds or under at an 80% clip rate of protecting him, no. And even then, he's just going to have to make some moves. And we saw not last week, 2 weeks ago, in the AFC Championship game, even when he wasn't even being affected by anybody, him just rolling back and him landing on that ankle, just moving around. I mean, it's hard for me to believe you're going to get better just within a short time span with a high ankle sprain. It's just a vulnerable injury. All right, let's go to Michael Sean Duggar. The Eagles are loaded up front on both sides. We said this the best offensive line and the best D-line in the league. When has a team had both of those going into the Super Bowl? I don't remember a case when. As the Buccaneers demonstrated a few years, being built that way is a recipe for defeating the best quarterback. Yes, because you have balance. If you can control the lines, that gives you the freedom to have protection and the freedom to break down the other team's offense, which are 2 huge things. Without protecting the quarterback and without getting to the quarterback, you cannot win the game. That all starts there in the trenches. Is not sexy picks, ugly picks, but those are winning picks. They can run the ball effectively on offense and put it in the air against a so-so Kansas City cornerback room. Yeah, they had all ratings in the 80s. Jalen Watson had a rating of like 90, which is atrocious. And Trent McDuffie, 84 to 86, and all as well. That their leading corner, I forget his name, escapes me right now. He had a concussion. But yeah, he like 84, 86 as well. So he's in a all-star, underrated, but not an all-star. Defensively, they can rotate 4 or 5 guys with a legitimate shot at getting to Patrick. That's every starter can be replaced by a backup that plays at a extremely high level as well. So, pick your poison. Mahomes on any, you can get to Mahomes at any given snap. That would be tough for 4 quarters, especially with the quarterback nursing an injured ankle. Yes, it's going to come into play. There's no way over 4 quarters that ankle stands up. He doesn't at the very least tweak it, and it cause him to. It's going to affect the way he can apply pressure on it. I think there's a high chance. Mark me down on this. There's a high chance of him re-injuring it, even in the slightest in this game. Just for the sake of he's going to have to scramble, move around, and be mobile when he's fucking limited with that ankle injury in this game. It just, matter of fact, there's no way he can be a statue, and that's just not even a part of his game. And to begin with, he scrambles, or at least he scrambles in the pocket. All right, NFL.com had 13 writers going with the Eagles, 11 going with the Chiefs, so a pretty split room. Let's go with 2 here that look at. Mark Ross picked the Eagles. Philadelphia has been the most talented, balanced, and well-coached team for most of the season. This has been true. 16-1 with Jalen. 2 losses with our backup, Gardner Minshew. And the edge Patrick Mahomes has over Jalen Hurts will be negated by Mahomes' bum ankle and the ferocious Philly pass rush, which will harass number 15 all night, much like the Bucs did in Super Bowl 55. I just believe that to be true. That bum ankle is just going to affect how elusive he can be. He's slippery. You see some of those earlier clips in the season. He's jumping. He's not even the most agile or mobile guy, but he just has learned to have a feel for the game in that area, and he wiggles around there. But he can't. He can't with consistency do that in this game. He can maneuver, but he's not going to be anywhere close to where he was on those clips and those highlights. And they're going to be there, like I said, all game. They're rotating, 8, 9 guys. They're going to be fresh pursuing him like he's a hot date. And D'Angelo Hall, being a little bit of a hater here, he struggled with us while he was playing with the Falcons and Redskins, so take that L. But Andy Reid will be prepared for the Eagles' vaunted defensive front and won't let it dictate the flow of the game. He's coaching, but it's going to be hard for, in practice for him, him to do that when you have the O-line. The O-line being under pressure like that. And there's only so long they can hold up. And I just believe they don't get exposed, but they fall down a peg or two compared to how they're being highly rated in this game. Mark it. On the other side of the ball, Steve Spagnuolo will have his young defense peaking at the right time against Philly's read option and run game. Here, I have issues. I take issue with that because we had Fred Warner and Greenlaw, Aziz, that's, very good core of linebackers there, saying the same very fucking thing, and look what the read option did to them. Froze the best linebacker in the game, the best middle linebacker in the game, the best linebacker, period, the off-the-ball linebacker in the game. Had him looking like a child hesitating to ask their mom for some money to go buy the toy that they want. Like, he just was frozen and out of position and tricked and deceived by, the alignments and the schemes. And it was just a thing of beauty to watch. Fred Warner being frozen in time, like you were pausing a video with TiVo and being out of position and watching him run right past him. And so, Greenlaw as well, not wanting to take on the center, Jason Kelce head on. It was a thing of beauty. And you think that these Chiefs linebackers who aren't as good aren't going to do the same thing. You're seeing them in these highlight clips run against, traditional offenses, Joe Burrow, Ryan Tannehill, and different people. Those are more traditional offenses that, you don't have to make those reads. This is what the RPO does to defenses. It plants seeds of doubt. It makes you wait and guess on what you're seeing, and you have to need to read and then react. Just look at my body language. Just what happened. I'm slow. So I believe that's gonna affect. It's gonna affect their game. Their playing speed, their responses, their answers to the questions that we pose to their defense all game. All right, Pete Prisco. I don't like this take at all from CBS Sports. This pick ultimately comes down to the quarterback and the Chiefs have the edge here. There. Okay, cool. Both offenses will have success. That will make this a fun Super Bowl. But in the end, new school will beat old school. I have no idea what he fucking means with this because Andy Reid should be old school and Nick should be new school. I don't know where he's coming with that take. Give me the best quarterback in the league on the biggest stage. Mahomes will close out the season with the a trifecta: league MVP, Super Bowl MVP, and another ring to add to this first one. And here's where it comes into calamity because the last time the number one passing offense came against the number one passing defense, Peyton Manning got destroyed by the Legion of Boom, and then Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2002 got destroyed. I mean, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers destroyed the Oakland Raiders in that Super Bowl, Rich Gannon. So I mean, it just doesn't. I mean, it just historically speaking, it's gonna be a tough matchup for Mahomes, even with all the talent and he has around him all those things. And league MVP, the last time he won the Super Bowl, just hasn't panned out. But yeah, I could dive into that a little bit more, but we'll move on. Sports Illustrated. Another coin flip. Albert Breer picks the Chiefs over the Eagles. In the last act, as 49ers defensive coordinator, DeMeco Ryans left the bones for a Super Bowl game plan out there for Chiefs DC Steve Spagnuolo. Okay, cool, but it doesn't have the same tools. He crowded the line. He sent simulated pressure, and through one half of the NFC Championship game, he had the Eagles. He held the Eagles to fewer than 4 yards per carry, and outside of Devonta Smith's circus catch on 4th and 3, a whole lot of nothing in the passing game. But you are not them. You don't have the secondary they do. You don't have the front 7 pieces that they do as well. So and we dominate the line of scrimmage in that game. So it's we chose to pass because we didn't have to. I mean, we chose to run because we didn't have to pass. Simple as that. Eventually, the weight of carrying that offense hobbled by quarterback injuries broke Ryan's unit. Okay, whatever. Still the number one defense, and they couldn't stop us. But that doesn't mean this plan didn't work. And the Chiefs defense, while not as good as the Niners, won't have as much asked of it with Patrick Mahomes running the show on the other side of the ball. But he's going to be affected. How many chances is he going to get with that offense being out there? The Eagles. And he still has to go out there and beat that defense. Like I said, the number one pass defense against the number one passing offense. So put me down for a dogfight. Okay, force of nature. But he's injured. So that's going to play a factor in the game. I get they're saying, all the heroics and stuff like that, but this pass rush is just different. And we'll see when it butts heads with this offense. Let me take a quick water break here. Greg Bishop, look, the Eagles are a lot like their budding superstar of a quarterback. Doubted, and all that. When Hurts has been healthy, they just roll over people. They're great on offense, even better on defense. Damn, okay. And exhibit few, if any, weaknesses on special teams. They provided over the course of the season that they can beat teams in different ways. They've won with explosive offensive explosions, defensive clampdowns, and special team star turns. They've even won it different ways on offense, with Hurts running a ton, yes. With efficient passing, yes. With doing just enough to get by, yes. Colts game, Hurts running a ton. Green Bay game with efficient passing. Titans game. So I mean, just a litany of charges, and we're all good for them. We're all valid. Mahomes remains the single greatest wild card in pro football. He could lift the Chiefs with their own stars and a complete roster to victory. But I just keep thinking back to the conference championships. Philadelphia blew out a very good San Francisco team. And yes, we did, because guess what? We injured the quarterback. We put him out the game. And then we injured the backup and put him out the game. Put them in body bags and made them useless to their teams. We did that. It wasn't handed to us. It wasn't a freak injury on a scramble and, he blew out his ACL. We put mitts on him and put them both out. Give us our credit. Philadelphia blew out a very good San Francisco team. Kansas City narrowly defeated a very good Cincinnati team that was banged up on the O-line. 3 starters out. And that's why Chris Jones had his first 2 sacks of the postseason ever. Not this season, but ever. That aligns with the Eagles triumph for me. I agree. All right, Shale Kapadia, a tough one to decide, but ultimately she sees the Eagles putting away with the Shale, I believe it's the girl, whatever. Signature clock-killing scoring drive led by Hurts. I think both offenses will move the ball consistently in this game, but there could be a lot of long drives that limit the total number of possessions. I see a tight game in the fourth quarter, but the Eagles get the ball back while trailing 25-24 with about 4 minutes left. They ground away and never give Mahomes another chance. I mean, we've had some of those, you know, when we needed to absolutely last possession of the game type drives where we kill the clock and don't give the opponent a chance to score, right? We did it in the Dallas game. I think we did it maybe in the Cardinals game. So, I mean, maybe the Jags game as well. Just, you know, we've won a couple different ways for different reasons. Running, passing, and big special teams contributions. Bill Bender, one for Kansas City. It's a virtual pick 'em for a reason. And that line could shift toward the Chiefs being before kickoff. The Eagles' running game will be a huge factor, and Philadelphia will lead at halftime in this game. So there's another Mahomes legacy game, and against the Bengals is approved in an example of his dynamic playmaking ability. Ships games, okay, sure, but that defense is not our defense. Kind of lessons learned from the loss to Tampa Bay in Super Bowl 55 register, especially against that pass rush. Okay, cool, but you know they can scheme up ways to block us, but they still have to block us, and that limits your passing options. So with that, if you max protect, we're gonna be able to lock down Kelce, commit more human resources to him. If you don't, you leave Wiley over there one-on-one with Hassan Reddick, who has 19.5 sacks this season, including the playoffs, 3 in the playoffs, 3.5 maybe. Excuse me. It's gonna be a fucking disaster. So Wiley's getting up 9 sacks on the right side of right tackle. He's gonna be in trouble. Believe it. All right, this is Reed's 4 trips to the Super Bowl as a head coach, and experience will pay off. Okay, that means a lot, you know, nothing. Last time, who's the last second-year coach to win a Super Bowl? Doug Peterson, who's now the coach of the Jaguars. I mean, so you just keep on doubting. Go ahead. Kansas City wins on another walk-off by Harrison Butker in a fantastic Super Bowl that lives up to expectations. Okay, anyways. All right, another one for Philly here with Vinny Iyer, the Sporting News. When examining the total personnel of both teams, the Eagles have the better offensive line and the better defensive front seven. Thank you. They have more which they help their quarterback, including the willingness to run and get him involved in doing so. Exactly. And kills the clock. Best friend. Hurts has more reliable weapons, including his own legs, than Mahomes does. I believe this. I mean, outside of Kelce, like I said, supporting cast. Both teams will be hard-pressed to force turnovers and can't hope that the opponent beats us with key mistakes or breakdowns. Yeah, I think we can. Patrick Mahomes has thrown, 4 picks in the last 2 Super Bowl appearances. Yeah, and I think 2 against the Bucs. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was just ridiculous. I think 2 in each, but yeah, those ones against the Bucs, troublesome. Pressure would do that to you. I mean, well, and also, just over the course of the game, it's just the Eagles and Chiefs just line up in a physical, well-coached, disciplined game with its share of big play flashes. The Eagles are the stronger team with fewer weaknesses. I believe so. Hurts, much like Nick Foles in Super Bowl 2 for the Eagles, plays well with a lot of help, while Mahomes falls a little short carrying his Chiefs one more time. And that's what he has to do. He has to carry the squad. Jalen doesn't have to. He might have to in spots, but for the course of the game, he has more support. He has more of an emotional support / show-up dog than Mahomes does. He has a poodle. We have a Great Dane. All right, Eagles, Chiefs, 31-27. All right, let's get to some things around the league. We're going to try to get out of here quick. I did a lot of fast talking, but I'm still long after the video. All right, Jimmy Ward and Robbie Gould are still salty as fuck. Give it up. Give it up, fellas. Like Donatello was told you in TMNT2. It's just ridiculous that you guys are still talking shit. Robbie Gould saying, our defense will be exposed. And, you're a special teamer. Shut the fuck up. You're a kicker. You don't have an opinion. You don't fucking matter. Yeah, you're one of the greats, but who fucking cares, Robbie Gould? You ain't striking gold when you became a 49er. You became more of a gold digger. But, yeah, they're still talking crap, man. Just sour grapes. All you're doing is this. Whiners, 40 whiners. Get over it. Go the fuck home. Hey, Jimmy Ward, he threatened A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith, saying that, okay, next time we see him, I'm going to get him. I'm going to get him. They're going to get theirs. Bruh, you want to get suspended? You want to get fined? I mean, that talk is just, it doesn't sound like an on-field type thing. Even though he tried to narrow it to that, focus. No. Those are just more than threatening words. And, you don't have the wit to be talking like that. You represent the league who's not going to let you come out here and directly threaten people. And it's childish. Yes, it's your job. You take it seriously. Hey, that's cool. But find another way to fucking vent, man. This is unhealthy. It's unhealthy, you guys holding on to this woman that left you. She left you high and dry and cold, and you're still trying to hold on to her and bring her back to the fold. Bruh, get over it. She's gonna get another piece of jewelry from somebody else. She don't love you. All right, anyways. All right, the Panthers hired Josh McCown to be the QB coach. Ex-quarterback, he last played with, I think, maybe the Eagles. You know, very, very good backup. And, you know, give you some starts and spots. But very good mind, great mind for the game. And a student of the game. So I think he'll give a lot to that quarterback room there. I think they just only have Sam Darnold there. So they'll probably draft a guy. So it'd be good for them to have a former player in the league and a veteran who probably could, you know, still actually play backup in the league. So a lot of experience being brought, and he'll have a lot of knowledge and things to bring to the table to help that quarterback room. Here's, I don't want the second to last one. Devontae Smith leaves practice with a migraine. Nothing serious, you know, just headaches. You know, he's in his head too serious about this game, so he gave himself a headache sleeping in those dark rooms. Just focusing, he's focusing only in on the game. No distractions, no temptations. All he wants is to go into, you know, the Super Bowl and be effective, play for his team, play for his boys, and go out there and ball. That's it. So he'll be fine for the game. And the last issue thing we'll get to here. Britton Covey, our punt returner, not retainer. He's on retainer, but anyways, our punt returner has a hamstring injury. I don't know. We'll see if he has to test it out. I think Boston Scott may be a viable replacement, or maybe Quez Watkins. I don't know if he is Moonland back there. I don't know who else we would put other than those two back there, but even if he doesn't play, I think it'll be a huge issue. But I think, I think he maybe was limited, so he probably will play. And like I said, this is the second to last video I will do on the Eagles. One more to fucking go, and then we're playing this game. So let's get up out of here, man. Fly, Eagles, fly, and let's motherfucking go! Like, comment, share, subscribe Thanks for watching. Check me out at Centron Anime, Centron Life, or Centron Laughs, or other social media.